Oh, sorry guys, I didn't see you guys there. As you can see, we on live support again. I thought things had got better. We back on live support. Oh man, we back on live support. Before you guys start, make sure you smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that thumbs up button and make sure you drop a comment who you thought your man of the match was. As if it ain't obvious enough. Yeah, man. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Get us to 25K and all that good stuff. But we have a smoking to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We have a smoking to talk about. And as you can see, you know what I'm saying? We don't live support. You know what I'm saying? But listen. Seriously speaking, we got absolutely smoked. We got absolutely dealt with. We got battered and bruised. We got spanked. We got barebacked paws. It's mad. It's mad. Bradley was out there fighting for his life. And it's going to be really interesting with the discourse in and around the fan base, because I've had a lot of comments, I've had a lot of, comments in my DMs, in my streams. It's been telling me in face to face, like, bro, it's so mad to me, because there's so much point scoring going on within the Liverpool fan base. But I'm gonna address that a little bit later on in the video. Trust me, I'm gonna address it. But for now, let's actually talk about the game. Let's talk about this manager. Let's talk about a lot of things. I'm gonna start with the gaffer today, because everyone was so bad. I'm going to go through player by player, but I'm going to start with the gaffer today. Now, there was actually nothing wrong with the lineup. I actually didn't have a problem with the lineup. I said the manager got it right against Real Madrid. He got it right against Aston Villa. He didn't change the lineup today. Why change it if it's not broken? The point I made with the Aston Villa and the Real Madrid games is that there was more running and there was willing power and the press was good, but the tactics didn't actually change. We should have scored more goals against Madrid. We should have scored 4 or 5 against Madrid. We scored 1. Right? And it was from a set piece. So you didn't score any open goals. So open play goals against Real Madrid. Against Aston Villa, again, a set piece, I think it was a set piece, and of course, the deflected goal from Gravenberch. You see what I'm saying, guys? Sorry, it wasn't a set piece. It was the Martinez giving it to Salah, and then obviously Gravenberch scoring a deflected goal. We were gifted the 2 goals in the Villa game. Even though we battered Villa, we still didn't do anything really from our own accord. And these are the problems. That Slot didn't change the tactics. The players just ran a bit harder. And I was crucified for saying things like this. Even though I definitely gave credit to the manager, tweeted it, said everything. But, the discourse in the fan base and the policing of opinions, people had a problem with that. But I digress. Today, guys, it wasn't about the lineup. It was the instructions. Why do the wingbacks keep inverting? And why do the wingbacks only make underlapping runs? They run between the right centre-back and the right back, or the left centre-back and the left back. It's not round the outside. The only time we saw a successful overlap, we literally nearly scored. Gakpo missed an absolute sitter, and we nearly scored. You see what I'm saying? And I think that was that an underlap? I need to double check. But we weren't overlapping enough. You know what I'm saying? We weren't overlapping enough. Those link-ups between the centre-backs, the wing-backs and the wingers, it wasn't happening often enough. Man City absolutely dominated us from pretty much start to finish. We had a decent spell at the start of the second half, but we weren't able to really get going enough to do any damage today. You know what I'm saying? The wing-backs need to stop inverting. It's killing them. There's a massive gaping hole in the midfield that can't be filled. And, Szoboszlai running around everywhere isn't going to help us every game. It's not the answer every game. Oh, Szoboszlai's going to run and he's going to save us. You can't run faster than the ball. You can't. Verts on the left didn't work today. Was he even playing today? Someone tell me if he was even playing today. Ekitike frozen out the game. Konate was the one being forced to play the ball through the lines, and we saw how that story ended. Over the top balls, long balls down the wing, nothing through the middle, no interplay, very poor link up. We showed signs of moving the ball a little bit better in again, 45th minute to about the 60th minute. But again, we just got picked off on the counter when that did happen. The manager's tactics are poor. The tactics haven't changed from Madrid and Villa. It's the same stuff we're seeing. It's the same poor patterns. We move the ball very slowly, and of our own accord, we don't create enough. We don't create enough. It's circumstances that just come from a game of football, not our actual tactics. And our press was so easy to beat. And credit to Man City, they were excellent today. Doku was with a world-class performance today. Jeremy Doku was absolutely everywhere. He had Bradley on life support, bro. He had Bradley on life support. But guess what? Here's where we go to the manager again. We're going to go to the manager again. He decides to take off Andy Robertson. Now, he must have been injured. Because how do you take off Andy Robertson when he actually wasn't having a bad game, but you don't take off Bradley? He's been getting torn a new one for like 60 minutes. But you don't want to take off Bradley. Nah? Cool. Right. Then you take off Ekatike. But I'm thinking we have a striker on the bench. So if he's fit enough to be on the bench, then he's fit enough to play. Surely he's fit enough to play. But no, he goes and puts Wirtz as a false 9 and brings on Gakpo. Now, I didn't have a problem with Gakpo coming on. We needed some whip, and it helped us with the whip. But there was no striker to aim at. Guys, open your eyes. He's refusing to change. He's refusing to change. Now, yes, can two things be true? Yes. Can you be slot out and think there's no hope? Yes. Can you also be slot out and believe that it's actually tweaks that need to be made and we will be nowhere near as bad as what we are? That's also true. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I'm slot out, I believe certain tweaks would make Liverpool look so much better that the manager probably is capable of making, but he's genuinely refusing to do it. That is what the concern is for me. It doesn't necessarily need to be a formation change or a complete system change or delete your whole philosophy from the world of existence. No, it doesn't have to be that. Just start with the wing-backs. Start with the wing-backs so they're actually playing the role they need to play. You don't have to keep inverting. You know, sometimes the wing backs go back to type and you see Bradley trying to hug the touchline a bit more and whatnot. But I don't think that's an instruction. I think that's him reverting to type. I think that's Bradley going into autopilot. And he looks so much better when he does that. But Bradley got beat up today, bro. He got beat up today. He got his lunch money taken. Doku was moving like Eden Hazard. Look at the stats. He is the first player to attempt 10 take-ons, 10 plus take-ons, win 10 duels, create three chances created, have 3 shots on target, and score in the Premier League game since Eden Hazard for Chelsea against West Ham in April 2019. And I'm pretty sure that's when Eden Hazard scored that goal. That goal. You know what goal I'm talking about, guys. I might be wrong. Someone correct me in the comments. Chelsea fans, you know what to do. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But here's the thing. So again, you leave Bradley out there to drown. You take off Robertson and bring on Kirkes, who isn't in the best form as well. Then again, you have a striker on the bench, but you bring on Gakpo for width, which was fine, but you don't have a striker on the pitch. I don't understand it. And then Salazar is stinking out all game, but he doesn't come off the pitch. I don't understand it. I generally don't understand it. Wirtz false 9, this has been a problem ever since he's employed it in pre-season. Ever since he's enforced this tactic with Wirtz in the false 9, it's never worked. It's never worked. Every time we've seen him come on and play in the false 9, we look worse. We sit back and defend. We don't have the ball. We play on counter-attack. But if you're playing on counter-attack, why is Wirtz the furthest man forward? I don't get it. I don't understand it. What is Slot seeing that we're not seeing? I generally don't see it. I couldn't for the life of me tell you what the tactic is. I really don't get it. So we'll go further than that. When we need 2 goals, Ekatike comes off. I just don't get it. Like, Ekatike has been hooked off in the 53rd minute or something like that. Ekatike, bro, he didn't even complete 60 minutes. Now, granted, was he having a good game? No. But if you're gonna take a striker off to create more chances, why don't you replace him with another striker? Or why doesn't Chiesa go up front? Or why doesn't I'm thinking, surely Gakpo is gonna go up top. Gakpo didn't even go up top. So we're putting crosses along the box, no one's there. You know what I'm saying? We're putting crosses, we're passing around, there's no striker. So we've taken off our only striker, and left the other striker that we have that's just come back from injury on the bench. He didn't even get any minutes today. Why was he even on the bench if you weren't going to use him? And why are you so quick to take off your striker when we needed 2 goals? He loves taking off attackers when we need 2 goals. He hasn't got a clue. He hasn't got a clue, man. And then when you're 3-0 down, centre back that's outside of the ones that start. And you're just giving him minutes for what? Why are you giving him minutes? Why is he coming on? You're 3-0. You need goals. You're bringing on Joe Gomez. He ain't scored a goal for us in 12 years. Or 10 years. Or 9 years. However long it is. It's hurting my head. It hurts. It's hurting my head. My heart hurts, bro. What am I watching? We're 7 losses in 10 games. 450 million spent. We are 8th. Below Man United with the same goal difference. The same goal difference, bro. Oh. Breathe, Montel. Breathe, bro. Breathe. Breathe, bro. Just breathe, innit? Just breathe. Just breathe. And as for the fans that feel like, that's for the fans that feel like they can police others' opinions or, and do all of this weird stuff. Like, just know, I hope you enjoyed today. And for those calling the manager out, fair enough. For those who still want the manager in, fair enough. My overarching point with this topic has been always that the fan base all want the same thing. We want Liverpool to succeed, albeit it might be in different ways, but the final goal is the same thing. So as I said, what I don't appreciate are the guys that are sitting there calling fans who don't want the manager to be here anymore an enemy of the club, or a detriment to the football club, or you're what's wrong with Liverpool Football Club. You see what I'm saying? Or I've got them that are literally there saying that man are taking the AFC model. Man are taking the AFC TV, the AFTV story model in monetizing off negativity for views. What does that mean? What do you mean, bro? You see what I'm saying? I just don't appreciate this stuff. This bad patch that Liverpool are going on has literally revealed so much to me about us as a fan base. And maybe, just maybe, we might be as fickle and as fragile and as sensitive as everyone says we are. It might be as simple as that. As simple as that. I've seen the debates on channels. I've seen what man are tweeting. I've got guys like AGT flipping, quote tweeting my tweets a week after we beat Madrid. Not when we lost to Palace though, but one wants to quote tweet my slot out tweet saying it's madness for being slot out after we beat Real Madrid. I didn't see any quote tweets today. Man, how can you tweet, man? How can you tweet, man, a week after I tweeted something? You waited till Madrid to tweet. Do you know how cheeky that is, for one? That's mad cheeky, for one. Yeah? And then, of course, we've lost today 3-0. I ain't seen nothing. What we're going to do? Wait till we beat Nottingham Forest in 2 weeks. 5-1 or some shit. And that man's going to tell me I'm mad. Come on, man. Come on, bro. What we doing here? We are as fickle and as sensitive as everyone says we are. Because one bad patch of games, and it's not everyone's allowed to have an opinion thing. It's, if you're slot out, you're this to the fan base, or you're that to the fan base, and you're not it's this moral high ground that man are taking, and it's mad weird, bro. It's mad weird. This moral high ground behavior is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? I've addressed a lot of this after the watch along, innit? So if you want to go over there, that's where the full rant is, innit? Obviously after this, of course, after you like the video and them things there. But that's where the full rant is. But what I don't appreciate is man that are part of the YouTube community, that are part of the Liverpool community, thinking it's a high and mighty. It's, well, even though I'm not saying that you man even think you're high and mighty, but it's coming across as man are high and mighty, bro. And I'm not saying that you man haven't got pelters for being slot in. Slot inners have had pelters from slot outers, and slot outers have been having pelters from slot inners. That is the discourse that's going on the internet right now. Probably not so much in real life at the stadium, but that's the discourse that's happening online for the Liverpool community. But at the end of the day, the mouthpieces of the club, the mouthpieces, the Grizzlies, the James Redmonds, the Sams, the Tom Littles, the mouthpieces, you man have a voice as well, bro. And these man know they have a voice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying someone like Sam's ever said, he ain't said nothing crazy. I've not heard him seen or say anything mad in it. Do you get what I'm saying? He's happily allowed people to have their opinion while, doing what he does. But when I'm hearing the way man are chatting to Cal on stream, you get what I'm saying? It's just mad cheeky, bro. It's just mad cheeky. As I said, Grizz don't need to be telling man, Grizz don't need to be highlighting that, I understand. I totally respect that man them are going through the negativity for clicks. What does the clicks mean? What do you mean clicks, bro? Well, what do you mean about clicks? You know what I'm saying? Man like Cal got 39 bags of subscribers, bro. Man's got 24,000 subscribers, bro. Man gets over 200,000 views a month, bro. What do you mean doing what for clicks? Who, what, where, and why for clicks? Liverpool have been good for most of when I've been on YouTube. So who, what, where, and why for clicks, bro? And as I said, Monty, no one mentioned you. No one, he didn't mention your name. Well, yeah, the boot fits man, though, bro. So do you get what I'm saying? The boot fits because we're the larger Liverpool supporters that are in this fan base that are putting ourselves on YouTube every day. Man that have YouTube channels know the grind and know that you speak about your club, whether you win, whether you lose, or whether you draw. So do you get it? Man ain't just going to speak about Liverpool when we're winning. That's not what are we doing here? Win, loss, or draw, man's there, regardless, And I'm hearing Cal getting spoken to, as I said, what we doing here? Man, I'm speaking to Cal, like, I know you're trying to grow. What do you mean I know you're trying to grow, bro? What do you mean I know you're trying to grow? How can my guy James tell Cal I know you're trying to grow, but what you're talking about is insane and rare. So is that insinuating that what he's doing is for clicks? Again, he's got 40k subs, bro. So what does Cal need to do for clicks? Cal just needs to appear, and man, they're gonna watch what he's doing because he's done what he's done. Just the whole high ground gimmick's weird to me. As I said, man, they mentioned my name, and I was like, oh well, it doesn't surprise me that Monty's slot out. What do you mean it doesn't surprise you? What does that mean? What does that mean, bro? You know what I'm saying? As I said, I'm seeing Cal get pelters on that same stream. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make much sense to me. And these are some of the mouthpieces of Liverpool Football Club. And the overarching point has always been, you're allowed to be slot in. You're allowed to be slot out. You're allowed to call man crazy for being this. You're allowed to say, man, I don't rate da. But questioning whether man are doing things for clicks and that's where I draw the line, bro. That's where I personally draw the line. Questioning that man are just doing things for the growth of their channel, which means it actually supersedes what you want for your club. So now you're just questioning a man's integrity, right? It doesn't really make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? As I said, from what I've seen from those mouthpieces, that boom, like if you're slot in, so if you're slot out, it's the enemy or danger to whatever, all these words, danger, detriment to the club, all these buzzwords. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that if you're like slot inners have also had it hard at times. They're probably being called top reds, happy clappers, positivity freaks, all of this stuff. But detriment to the club, I think you're going a bit far. You know what I'm saying? It's going a bit far to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll never call someone a detriment to the club or enemy of the club, regardless, bro. Because man ain't better than any of you, man, as a Liverpool fan. I'm not. Did you get it? Me and you, me. We all want the same thing. We're all Liverpool fans. We all want the best, bro. It's as simple as that. And now that we've lost 3-0 to Man City, now that we've been battered by Man City, battered and bruised, now man are all coming out with there should be more agree to disagree. Like there should be more about there should be more agreeing to disagree in the fan base. Rather than when man are branding other man enemies of the club prior to that. It don't make no sense to me. Personally, it don't make no sense. I'd love to talk about it on stream, but with said individuals. But again, Grizz doesn't want to speak about Liverpool when things are going. He ain't speaking about Liverpool when things aren't going well. And obviously, the rest of the man them are slotting, and they can't get their head around why man would want to be slot out. But it's just another opinion, and it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. I just had to call that out. You know what I'm saying? Like this fan base, the point scoring in this fan base is at an all-time high, and it's just proving the ops right as to why our fan base is scrutinized at times. You know, I don't agree with it, but you know, we're not doing the job. We're not helping ourselves. We're really not helping ourselves. And it is what it is at this point. You know, we just lost 3-0. We're not in a great place. We're eighth after spending all, you know, breaking our transfer record twice. The fan base do need to stick together, but that doesn't come under the regulations that you can't be against the manager, because they still want the best for the club as well. It's just as simple as that, you know. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just calling that shit out in it, because for me, I don't believe in man them being policed in the sense that you're an enemy of the club, or you know, you're these type of words. I don't believe in that. You can disagree, man, call man crazy, you can call man an idiot, bro. Even call man dumb, all of these things. I don't care about all of that. You know what I'm saying? Bicker, be passionate, be all of these things. But don't question man's everyone's morality as a fan. As I said, I'm not saying I was questioned, but I fall under the bracket of what man was saying. So, you know what I'm saying? And the bigger YouTubers have spoken on these things, and I'm sure they have their opinions towards that as well. But that's just my thinking of it, innit? And I don't really rate all that, if I'm honest. So that's that, man. Listen, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, man. Doku man of the match. Credit to Man City. They might be back. Haaland gets his goal. And the officiating. I purposely didn't speak about the officiating because, you know, we didn't deserve to win anyways. But for me, that goal not to stand is scandalous, man. Absolutely scandalous. Poor officiating. Robertson is not in that field of view. Yes, he's in offside position, but he's not in the field of view. The keeper's not saving it, and he gets out the way. Poor decision by the ref for me, and it's a goal all day long. Wouldn't have changed things. Probably would have won. Probably would have lost 4-1, in my opinion. But like, subscribe, big up Doku for the man of the match performance. City were absolutely everywhere. They wanted it more, won their duels, and I guess it is what it is. But bless our people. Like, subscribe, and even go subscribe to the guys that I mentioned. Make sure you're subscribing to those guys. I just don't agree with the discourse that's going on online and the way that they're dealing with it. I had to call that out. Bless our people.